Let's work on the concept of Way Anova, and we'll do so just by looking at graphs without relying on formulas. So what is the intuition of ANOVA? We're looking at the analysis of variance to find out the difference in means between certain groups. Now we already know about one-way ANOVA when we have a look at the relationship between one factor and a dependent variable, but now we're looking at two-way ANOVA, which by definition means that we have two variables that is affecting the result. And here I plotted a graph where we have the relationship between the city that we work in and the job that we have on the average salary. So we're considering two cities, London and San Francisco. We're considering three types of jobs, technology jobs, finance and medical, and we want to see by looking on the graphs whether we have an effect of the job on the salary, an effect of the city on the salary, and an interaction effect between job and city on the salary. So we'll have a look at them in three separate videos. Here we're gonna have a look at two graphs and then two more and then the last one in the last video. So what do we have in this case? We have the graph here with technology, finance and medical jobs, and the dots represent the average salaries. So how do we read these dots? For instance, if we have a look at the green line, that's the average salaries belonging in San Francisco. So we can see that we have the same average salary of $4,000 for technology jobs in San Francisco, for finance jobs in San Francisco, and medical jobs in San Francisco. So what we can see is that we have the same average salary for all three types of jobs. So we have no difference in salary between the jobs for a given city. And it's important to say that it's for a given city because we saw that this happens in San Francisco, and we can also see that the average salary is $4,000 between technology, finance and medical jobs, also in London. So for a given city we have no difference in salary between the job types, which is the same as saying that the job type does not affect salary. So job does not affect salary. Now let's have a look at the average salaries from the perspective of the city. We can see here that in London we have an average salary of $4,000 no matter what type of job, and we can see that in San Francisco we also have an average salary of $4,000 no matter in which industry. So we have no difference between salary, no difference in salary. Let's write it here like that. No difference in salary between cities for a given job. So whether that job is tech, finance or medical, it doesn't matter, meaning that the city does not affect salary. So we researched both variables, jobs and cities, and we can see that none of them has any effect. So in this case we would have no effect from any of the variables. Now let's look at another example. Let's look at this graph over here. Again, we have the relationship between salary and jobs. Now what do we notice here? We can have a look that in London, at the blue line, the average salary for technology is $2,000, the average salary for finance jobs $4,000, the average salary for medical jobs $3,000. What do we see? We see that finance jobs are higher paid than technology and medical. If we look at San Francisco, is the same pattern. We can see that it's $2,000 for tech, $4,000 for finance, $3,000 for medical, meaning that we have a difference in the average salaries between the jobs. We can see that finance pays consistently higher. But if we look at the cities between themselves, either we work in tech or finance or medicine, we get the same average salary in London and SF. We get for technology $2,000 in London and San Francisco. For finance we get $4,000 in London and San Francisco. For medicine we get $3,000 in London and San Francisco. So let's write that in some statistical conclusions. What we're saying is this. What we're saying is that the average salary, we have a difference in the average salary between the job types between the jobs for a given city. For a given city. So it happens in London and it happens in San Francisco, meaning that there is an effect of job on salary. So job type affects salary. Now let's interpret the same way for the other one, for the city. We can see that we have no difference in salary between the cities. We saw that for any given industry, the average salary is the same in London and San Francisco. So we have no difference in salary between cities for a given job, for a given job type, for a given job. Meaning that there is no effect from city on salary. City, the variable city, does not affect salary. Does not affect salary. Let's leave it like that in this video. In the next video, we'll go on.